The Out of Bounds Show podcast is brought to you by Boar's Head, premium meats, cheeses, and hummus. Boar's Head, compromise elsewhere.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Out of Order.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Low Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
Here we go. Good morning, good morning. What is happening? Back after a week in Orlando. It'll never be the same. The Orlando Magic wanted to hire me. I told them I couldn't do it. I have to cover SEC football. What's up? Good morning. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Thought the weather yesterday was amazing. I knocked all the pollen off my boat and took a little cruise or two, so that was nice. Watched a ridiculous amount of SEC baseball over the weekend and a ton of March Madness. Blake, I know you missed me, and I appreciate you doing the shows last week, keeping everything, onward and forward.
Oh, good, Bo.
Yeah, there you go. Brett Smoot was with me last week in Orlando. And what's the nickname he gave me?
El Camino Jenkins.
Yeah, That's who I told everybody I was in Orlando. So anyway, the Out of Bounds Show is powered by our friends at the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook. We'll be there Thursday and Friday. Bet $50. Well, you got about a week, right? What's today? I don't know. Anyway, the end of March. But bet $50 at the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook. And you can play Dancing Rabbit Golf Club for $30. If you're in the area, we'd love to see you Thursday and Friday. Actually, Thursday's probably going to be the better option. Thursday after. No, we don't have games. We have.
They start Friday.
They start Friday. That's weird. That's right. I got to wrap. Yeah.
We're a day off.
We're a day off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we've got games today. I mean, the American Gangster plays today.
That's right.
Will Wade. LSU's quarterback. He eats wiretaps for breakfast. And strong A offer.
It ain't bragging if you can back it up.
That's right. So the American Gangster is still in the tournament. They'll take on Michigan, though. Michigan's are they number one or two, Blake?
Number one.
Okay, number one. So we have 2 ones out in Illinois and Ohio State, right?
Ohio State was a 2.
Oh,
Illinois
okay.
was a 1 in the same bracket. That is the Midwest region. It's the region of chaos.
The region of chaos.
You've got Oral Roberts.
Who?
You've got Illinois beaten by Loyola Chicago. Sister
Did
Jean.
you hear the story about Oral Roberts decades ago? He got up on the I guess there's a tower on their campus, and he said, "I'm not coming down until y'all raise like $1 million."
The basketball coach did this?
No, Oral Roberts, who the university was named after.
Got you.
Okay, and he made it about God and religion and so on, but he got up on the tower and he said, "I'm not coming down until we raise," and I don't remember how much it was, but at that point in time, that day and age, how about that? It was a lot. So it was either $100,000 or $1 million. Of course, they did it. So I just thought I'd share that story.
Their campus looks like, if someone in the 70s had thought this is what space age buildings will look like, that's what they built.
That's true.
It's an interesting. Don't
you think it was Liberty before Liberty?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, we're gonna set up a 501c3, raise money off of religion, and have a big party.
And now they are 2-0 in the NCAA tournament, and they just beat Mike White in Florida.
No doubt. Which I was not happy about.
No, I had Florida go into the Sweet 16.
Well,
so
I like Mike White. I like Scott Strickland. I like the Gators. I grew up watching Moten and Maxwell, the M&M boys. They were so much fun to watch. Vernon Maxwell was a dude. Andrew Moten was a little just guy. He was good at point guard for the Gators in the 80s. Anyway, all right.
Now you got a number 15 seed sitting in the Sweet 16.
You know what I told you before the show? People love it in the moment, and then they turn the page, and then they don't watch it. It's weird. We're all really weird.
Yep.
Fans are crazy. Florida State plays today. LSU plays today. Gonzaga plays today. So there's some big names out there. LSU Michigan's huge. I'll be locked in on that.
That one in Bama, Maryland.
Oh, Bama, Maryland, no doubt.
Because I have Alabama going to the Final Four to lose to Gonzaga.
Oh, wow.
I have them beating Michigan.
Okay.
In the Elite Eight, going to the Final Four and losing to Gonzaga. So there we go.
There you go. Out of bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Let's talk some baseball. Well, I think McLeod and Hoagland showed up and showed out on Friday. And Ole Miss sweeps Auburn. Mississippi State takes 2 of 3 from LSU. Tip of the cap to both Hoagland and McLeod. Man, when you get the ball on Friday in the league and you can deal and put your team in position to win, and especially when you chew up innings. Of course, Hoagland went the whole way. Or, no, I'm sorry, he went almost the whole way. And that's I know Brandon Smith was good for MSU too. But for me, those two guys are the player. Those are my players of the weekend. I know you could go with some other guys. I get it. But I just think, that front line, first dude, take the baseball, give you an opportunity to win. But those are my guys. Those are the two out of bounds players of the weekend, brought to you by XL Companies and wateratmydoor.com. They'll deliver healthy, filtered water to your door. We've got a tank here. It's fantastic. I just poured some in my cup. Wateratmydoor.com, and 50% off your initial order with promo code BOUNDS. Brought to you by XL Companies, wateratmydoor.com. Blake?
No, I was going to agree with you. Winning Friday is such a huge statement in every series, right? When you win Friday, it just changes the dynamic of how you play the rest of the weekend. And when you win Friday on a strong pitching performance, it gives you so much more comfortability with how you use your bullpen, which for Ole Miss is a big deal in Saturday and Sunday.
Because it's nerve-wracking when you don't win on Friday.
Yes. And when you have to utilize half your pitching staff.
Yeah.
Again, like Mississippi State, we think they have a lot of pitchers to go through, so that's one thing. I think Ole Miss has their frontline guys, and then there's not a lot of depth back there in the bullpen. Right. So for Hoagland and Nikhazy when he gets back, which I believe hopefully will be soon, those two guys going long on Fridays and Saturdays for Ole Miss is a recipe for long-term success.
I agree. And to do it without Nikhazy is a big deal.
Yeah.
So, and Hoagland looked right at home as a Friday start. Now, McLeod and Bednar were really, really good. And I think, again, Lamonis had a sit-down and here's the deal type deal. Sarantola didn't get it done on Sunday. It wasn't all him. The bats were sleepy. However, that may be it for him as far as starting on the weekends. Bam.
You can't give away ball games that are winnable.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And when you give a team that had no life all series weekend, all weekend long, when you give a team life in the first inning, they got 2 runs on no hits in the first inning. That's just, you can't give them that type of that's a young team that was looking for anything to hold on to at LSU. If you shut them down in the first inning again, if they get men on base like they did in the first inning of Friday and Saturday and don't score, you're back to probably winning that ball game on Sunday.
Sure.
So you just got to have a better start. And Jackson Fristow pitched 5 innings great out of the bullpen. So
he's a good player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good pitcher.
Through one poor pitch that was a home run. Other than that, he was great out of the pen. So.
Hey, the Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook. Super cool place. Sports Bar Sportsbook, Golden Moon Casino. Bet $50 there. Play award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club for $30. That's the Azaleas or the Oaks. That's pretty awesome. Show is also presented by Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. Any age, any sport, any injury, they've got you covered at Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. New Surgery Center, Clinic, Lakeland Drive, Flowood. MississippiSportsMedicine.com. Big board coming up next. John Cohen at 7:35. Ben McDonald, 9:30. Welcome in. Buckle up. Glad to be back. Big board next. ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Swoochy Boochie, good morning to you.
The Out of Bounds Show podcast is presented by Edwin Watts Golf Shop on County Line Road. Your golf game starts with Edwin Watts Golf Shop.
What's on the big board? What's on the big board?
Oh, man, the big board is brought to you by Mississippi Sports Medicine and Ortho Center, MississippiSportsMedicine.com. Follow them on Facebook, Mississippi Sports Medicine. Good morning, live in the Bank Plus studio. Glad to be back. Had a good trip to Florida. Great weather. Holy smokes. Didn't rain a drop. Sunshine, blue skies. That was nice. Very, very nice. I got to see Harry Potter. They're doing well. And so it's good. I think I checked all the boxes, saw all the people. Buzz Lightyear was happy to see me.
I love Buzz.
That's a cool dude. And Star Wars was cool. So it worked out. I thought it was good. My kids had a good time. And, yeah, I think all in all, it was man, I'll tell you this, Blake. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Good morning. Welcome in. John Cohen, 7:35. Ben McDonald, SEC Network, LSU All-American. First-round pick for the Baltimore Orioles will join us at 9:30. Our guest will join us on the Coors Light guest line today. I will say this, Blake. The flight from here to Charlotte and Charlotte to Orlando was packed. And the flight from Orlando to Charlotte and Charlotte to Jackson was packed.
Yeah.
And
not shocked.
People were all over the parks. So,
yep.
All five. We did more than the four. We did Universal too. So, but there were people everywhere. Had some really good food. That was nice. And hit a super cool Italian place while I was there that had some great mussels and bolognese and
love authentic Italian.
Yeah,
nothing better. Really,
it's a really groovy, cool El Molino. It's a cool restaurant.
I saw where
we went to Kimonos too. That's the sushi place in that little resort area.
That sounds amazing.
And it's balling.
I went to Hokkaido this weekend.
That's a really good place too.
Throw out another sushi place. Love that place. They were slammed too. Holy cow!
Yeah,
Friday.
Yeah, COVID's
for
over.
Lunch.
I mean, people are over. I mean, I talked to people from New York, California, all over. And,
dude, I'd be getting out of
fascinating.
those. I'd be getting out of those states too. Because
they were not happy with what has transpired.
Well, they've legitimately been shut down, which is a totally different experience than what
we haven't lived that deal.
Not even close. Especially our shit. Like, we're even more unique than even people who work around here in normal jobs because we never stop.
Well, I haven't worn a mask. All right, so here, I'll tell you this. So the masks don't work, but this has become a thing to hang on to. And so I have not had to, I mean, I've been fortunate. Like you and I don't work in like a 3-4 story building, right?
Nope.
Or a big company where you had to adhere to people shoving this down your throat. And so I haven't had to wear a mask except like when I walk into a restaurant for 2 seconds and then you're at the table, or I walk into a store. So we had to wear a mask at Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're out in your resort around your hotel, you could tell people were doing away with those. Okay, you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But on property,
what makes it? They're a big. I get it. Liabilities and all that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally walking. I'm walking shoulder to shoulder with 100,000 people.
But you
over
need
the
to
course
wear
of the day.
mask.
But you need to wear a mask. I mean, this is all. We've all been played. But I thought about the people that have had to wear masks.
Yeah.
A lot.
All day.
And we know that kids have no business wearing masks. I mean, this is ridiculous. And I thought about my kids, and I was like, my gosh. But yeah, I had not worn a mask for more than like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe the most is the grocery store. Well, and now going to sporting events. So like I know still in Starkville and Oxford that they quote unquote require you to wear it once you go into the stadium. So But other than that, that's about it.
Oh, man. Incredible.
Yeah.
I feel for people that have had to wear it, hours and hours a day.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Let me roll out the Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line. 601-707-3750. Presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. Bundle your auto and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Go to favorites.com. Get a quote in 4 minutes or less. That's favorites.com. And get a quote in 4 minutes or less. Also, your Mississippi Ag John Deere tractor text line is 601-885-3776. Go ahead and say good morning, or you can say you guys are crazy. Whatever. Mississippi Ag text line 601-885-3776. Ole Miss with the sweep over Auburn. Mississippi State goes on the road to Baton Rouge and wins 2. And McLeod and Bednar were really good. Really, really good. I mean, just absolutely shut down a talented LSU squad. And look, Hill on Friday was, woo. That guy can deal,
We're going to have to ask John Cohen, and when we get him eventually again soon, hopefully, Chris Lamonis, about potentially their new all-time starter in left field, Braylon Skinner.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Friday night, kind of blew that game open with that monster shot to right field.
That thing was crushed.
Yeah, 20 rows up, absolutely hammered that baseball.
And then Hoagland almost went the distance.
Yeah, 13 or 14 strikeouts Friday night. I mean, he just was dealing. And then Derek Diamond, I know the Sunday game got out of hand, but Derek Diamond would pitch to Jim. All that happened in the bullpen. All the runs that Auburn scored was late. Diamond was hitting 97 out of the gate in the first inning and really pitched well on Sunday.
Yes.
It allowed Ole Miss to get their big lead and then coast.
Derek Diamond, what did we talk about? He sounds like a WWE wrestler.
Yep.
Or
Denny's.
Oh,
Danny's, I mean.
Or a dancer.
Yeah.
Derek Diamond to the main stage, or Derek Diamond in the ring.
That's right.
Or, he could also be like a top bull rider
on
the rodeo in Texas.
I can see that, yeah.
Like he's number 1 in the state of Texas.
I could see him being a PBA stud.
What is that, professional bowling?
Bowling, yes.
I like that.
Absolutely.
The guys that come out with the whole glove all the way to the elbow?
Yes, 100%.
That is strong.
Yeah, well, everybody knows you need a forearm brace to get the perfect spin.
When you bring your own ball,
yeah,
your own shoes, and you have a forearm brace, and you've got your name embroidered on your shirt.
I've always wanted to be on a bowling team solely for the jersey.
No question.
It's the single reason I want to be on a bowling team. Yeah. I have zero bowling skill, but I mean, I could probably roll like a 150 or something like that. I don't know. That's terrible, but I just want the uniform.
So Derek Diamond would either be the number 1 rodeo rider in like the southeast region, right? He'd be from somewhere around Lubbock.
Yes.
And he'd been on a bull since he was 4 or 5 years old.
100%.
And then he's number 1, and he's done the whole circuit deal.
But I could also see him being like the resident, like pro bowler / golf pro at some small Midwest town.
Yeah,
like some just hole in the wall town.
Midland, Texas.
Yeah, basically.
We used to have like the Midland Drillers or something played the Jackson Mets.
Yeah,
I don't remember. They were the Midland something, and I as a kid you were struggling to wrap your brain around where these places were because we didn't have phones and stuff. And I was like, man, where could that place be? I mean, it sounds like a tumbleweed town.
Yeah, it is. He's very much the character of Tin Cup, which is a fantastic Kevin Costner movie.
Oh, that movie's so good.
Yeah. So bad it's great.
Should have won an Oscar.
Yeah,
Not
fantastic.
sure why it didn't.
Fantastic.
Was Renee Russo in that movie?
I think so. Isn't she the the therapist / girlfriend?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it was Renee Russo, but I may not have that. Now I'm not good with actors and actresses' names, but we'll see. Midland Cubs, says Rebel Godfather on the Mississippi Ag text line. The Midland Cubs. Is that where they were? I thought maybe somebody else was the Drillers. Tulsa?
That sounds right.
Tulsa Drillers. Maybe that was another one of the teams.
Yep, that's what Rebel Godfather. He must be a baseball fan.
Yeah, that's who played the Jackson Mets. when Lenny Dykstra was partying at the dock. Or Kathmandu's. Where else? I'm trying to think of that other spot. That was a rough and unsophisticated time. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance and Mississippi Ag. You're listening to 105.9 The Zone. We're streaming live on the Out of Bounds radio app. John Cohen next. You're listening to the Out of Bounds podcast, brought to you by the Premium Cigars at Havana Smoke Shop in Jackson and on the Reservoir. Havana Smoke Shop for your premium cigars.
Come on.
Everyone ready?
This is the SEC Insider Hit. Presented by your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Go local. Go with a home team.
Man, oh man, good morning. The show is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Save on your auto and home. That sounds good. Favorites.com. Go local. Go with the home team. Farm Bureau Insurance call-in line, 601-707-3750. You can watch the show right now on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. And we'll have John Cohen here in a few minutes, AD at MSU. Ben McDonald, 9:30. SEC Network. He called two of the games in Baton Rouge over the weekend. Brad Henderson could not go today. Color analyst, Ole Miss baseball for the Rebels. And he'll join us tomorrow or Wednesday. So is it Wednesday? Okay, Wednesday. Yeah, there was some scheduling stuff going on. Thank you, Blake. So Brad will join us on Wednesday. We'll take a look back a little bit, but we'll also by then be getting ready for the weekend as Ole Miss will take on Alabama. Alabama, right, Blake? Isn't that what we said before the show? Yeah. What now?
At Alabama.
Okay, in Tuscaloosa.
First road trip.
Road trip. Out of Bounds, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. So some of you may have picked up on this. Why am I calling Will Wade the American gangster? For those of you who don't watch SEC basketball, and I understand, Will Wade is the head basketball coach for LSU. He was caught on a wiretap. Was it a couple of years ago now, Blake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It came out summer of last year, 2019.
Okay.
But it was from like 2017 or 18
right.
was when the audio was recorded.
So he's federal agents, right, were in this investigation into college basketball and handlers, third parties getting paid for kids and so on. The shoe companies were all caught up in it. Okay, so I'm going to give you the really, really cliff notes. And Will Wade was caught on tape saying strong A offer.
Yeah, we gave this kid a strong
A offer, right? And so, but he's still the coach at LSU. So he's gone through this for 2 years, and he's really good. The people love to dislike him.
That's why people hate Bruce Pearl, even though he didn't do near what Will Wade is getting in trouble.
Bruce Pearl lied about a barbecue at his house. If he'd have never lied, he never gets fired at Tennessee. Anyway, he lied about a barbecue at his. We call it grilling out, but anyway, the Northeast press. I can't help them. I know it's pitiful, but the East Coast, West Coast elites. Good grief, what are we going to do? We've actually got it going on. But anyway, point is, Will Wade is still the coach at LSU even after the tapes were brought to light through the court system. And so we call him Will the American Gangster Wade. And they're playing Michigan today. So they're still in the tournament. He's had a lot of success against LSU. They think that the investigation will wrap up this summer or fall and he'll be fired immediately because they redid his contract to say if you're named in the investigation at all, you're gone. I don't know why they didn't feel like they could fire with 4 calls before, but evidently they didn't feel that they could. Or either Will's got some great dirt on somebody down there. So that's where we are. Will Wade and LSU play Michigan today, and that's why we refer to Will Wade as the He eats wiretaps for breakfast. That's what we say on this show.
That's correct.
Anyway, and I think it's going to be fun to have basketball today. There's some big names in it. Michigan's a big name. LSU's a big name. Oklahoma's a big name. Gonzaga's a big name. Alabama is not a big basketball name, but it's a big name, and they're still in the tournament, and they're a 2 seed. So, there's some stuff there to get into throughout the day. And we've had some great games, Blake, go down the wire.
No doubt. And I was going to ask you this question before we go to our next guest, because I know you're going to ask him about this man. We give Ben Howland a hard time, and myself included.
Yeah, you do.
For success or lack thereof, or perceived success or whatever. But let's look at somebody who has had a ton of success. In fact, won 5 games in the 2011 basketball tournament in one season, right? But now he's been at Texas for 5 years, and they have yet to win a first-round matchup.
I know.
That's Shaka Smart,
I know.
formerly of VCU, now with the Texas Longhorns. I can't believe what's going on there. Got to be short-term on the Texas sidelines, right? Or court.
That may be enough with the new athletic director, Del Conte, I think, from TCU. That may be enough for him to lose his job. I can't believe how much money payouts on firing basketball coaches. The numbers insane this year. So in a year of COVID, Dan Wolken and others said that, football coaches wouldn't be fired. They were. Basketball coaches have been let go left and right. All right. So we've got a lot to dive into from the weekend. Ole Miss swept Auburn. Mississippi State took 2 of 3 from LSU, among other things, spring practice and so on. So we're going to go to the Coors Light guest line. Welcome in MSU Athletic Director John Cohen on the Out of Bounds Show and ESPN 105.9 The Zone. John, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Bo?
I'm doing good. I wanted to start with Christian McLeod and his performance on Friday night. You see more than we do. Your takeaway?
Yeah, I think he, he's shown us a little bit of an Ethan Small type of performance. Change up a really solid breaking ball and a fastball that he can throw into right-handed hitters. And I think that's what you have to be able to do to win in the Southeastern Conference. The other issue, strikes. So if you really look across the board in our league, the teams that threw strikes are the teams that had, the most success this weekend. And I think the other big factor early in March is the wind too. The wind's blowing in or across at LSU this weekend, which I really think, benefits us, the way we play defense and the way we pitch. And of course, you look around the landscape of the league with the wind blowing out, that really changes some things too. But I think Christian McLeod's ability to throw strikes is going to be, if he's throwing strikes, he's going to have a ton of success in our league.
And Bednar had fought the injury bug for a couple of weeks, and I would have to believe that Foxhall and Lamonis are elated at him finally getting out there and doing what he did on Saturday, John.
Yeah, Bo, Bednar makes my all body language team, because when he's got that ball on the mound, you got to love playing defense behind him. I mean, those shoulders are just bowed up, and he is on the attack. And every time he has a miss, it's a small miss, and it's to the area of the strike zone that he's working in. He threw some fastballs away from right-handers that were unhittable pitches. I just thought he was terrific. I mean, I think he really, and he is a Bulldog in the truest sense of the word, just attacked hitters, attacked location, and really pitched with his fastball. Didn't have to use his breaking ball and changeup until later on, maybe, the second, third time through the order, which is another key to being successful.
John Cohen on the Out of Bounds Show, athletic director, MSU. He joins us on the Coors Light guest line. What about Braylon Skinner? I mean, it's a nice coming out party for this young man on the road. Hits an absolute shot, was on base throughout the weekend. Tell me about him.
Yeah, one of the privileges I get, Bo, as an athletic director, is I get to go watch practices of all of our sports. And it just jumped out at me the way that kid practices, the way he attacks balls in the outfield. And, I really felt like he had a chance to be our starting center fielder, certainly a chance to be our starting left fielder. And then he has the injury. He really fought back from the injury. Still not as confident in that hand as he will be. He's doing some really positive things right now. That hand injury, especially when there's a chill in the air, it doesn't just disappear. It doesn't just get cured. I've broken some bones in my hand when I was his age, and there are times where it still bothers me to this day. So as a baseball player, you're facing 90, 95, you make contact, you got to hit it just right, not for that to really tear your hand up. And then you got all the VP and all the other work. So just a courageous young man. What a great performance this weekend. And, every time that ball touches the ground, you're going to have some really anxious defenders because he can really move.
John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show. John, how about Brandon Smith's approach on the mound?
Yeah, again, just attack mode. I think Fox has done such a great job with his pitching staff. It's obvious to me just through body language. You look at how many kids we send out there who just want to dominate the strike zone. I think he's tremendous. If you look at his stuff, which is very good, but his stuff isn't, the best on the team, or certainly, the highest level in the SEC, but his competitiveness takes him over and above. And I think you're going to see more and more of him. What a special competitor. He, again, is a guy you love playing defense behind because he's going to challenge the strike zone and he's going to use his defense. But he can also get swing and miss as well.
John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show. Did you see the picture circulating of you hitting a home run in Alex Box in either 89 or 90 with Bianco as the catcher?
I did. It's people, I don't know why people get a charge out of that. It seems like 150 years ago, but that's fun. I made the comment to our staff. There was a text going on with our staff, and I just said, yes, color photography had not been invented yet in 1989. So that's how old that picture is.
Even at that point, I know Bertman got there at 84. Okay, and they were up and running by then. Obviously, Ben McDonald was there and several other good players. So by the time you were starting at Mississippi State in the late 80s through 1990 CWS team, was Alex Box getting that was it becoming a difficult place or difficult/unique place to play by then, John?
Well, back then, you felt like we're the ones who had the lineup, and they're the ones that had the pitching. And even at a young age, I think we all felt like, man, as soon as LSU gets a lineup of physical guys who can run balls out of the yard, they could always defend. But as soon as they get that element to their game, they're ready because of the amount of talent that, they border Texas, so they
Sure.
can go into Texas. And of course, I think Ben, I have to say this, I think Ben and Springer really changed the game for them because – they're not just first rounders. They're elite competitors. We have some kids on our staff, and so does LSU, and so does everybody in this league, who have big arms and who have real spin on their breaking ball and everything else. But I remember having a scout tell me that Ben McDonald is the best amateur pitcher who ever came out in the draft up until that point in 1989.
Wow.
I mean, he was a 5-pitch mix guy who you couldn't bunt on because he was a superior athlete at 6'8". You couldn't bunt on him, you couldn't run on him, and he's got these 5 pitches. I tell you, if Ben doesn't get hurt, he's going to be a 15-year guy in the big leagues and put up huge numbers. And Springer hung around forever. He had so much sink on his fastball, he just hung around forever. So, yeah, I think, to answer your question, you could feel them making a move in the league. Coach Bertman, obviously one of the real geniuses, along with Coach Polk, in the history of college baseball. But what they needed was that offensive power. When that came, there was no doubt that they were going to be forced to be reckoned with.
Man, I remember watching him pitch at LSU. Good grief. It was like watching Cam Newton at Auburn. Incredible. John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show and the Coors Light guest line. You're listening to ESPN 105.9 The Zone. John, sounds like a simple question, but how do they get the offense going?
Yeah, I again, when you look at the numbers, and I think this one thing Gotro has done a great job along with Chris, and she's, the offensive numbers aren't what we want them to be, but here's the positive thing. When your pitching staff is punching out 13 a game and you're striking out, 3.5, 4 times a game, which is a really low number, and you're one of the few schools in the entire country when you add the HBPs and the walks together, and you're getting a number very similar to strikeouts, that's going to win. And it won't, it's not, we're not going to lead the nation in home runs. It's not that type of lineup, but it's simple math. And of course, this really showed itself on Friday and Saturday. We just put more balls in play. And when you put more balls in play, some good things are going to happen. And they did, on Friday, especially, and, not as much on Saturday, but if you gave me the choice of having a dominant pitching staff or a dominant lineup, I'm always going to choose the dominant pitching staff because they can control the baseball game. So I think we have some guys, a lot of guys who haven't played a ton of SEC baseball who are going to keep getting better, and I think that offense really, really comes.
John Cohen on ESPN 105.9 The Zone and the Coors Light guest line. Where are y'all with attendance this weekend as y'all host the first SEC series against Arkansas, John?
Yeah, I think it's comparable to probably what fans saw up at Ole Miss this past weekend. We had sold out our chairback seating behind home plate. The biggest key is how many students do you let in, and how many general admission seats do you let in. One of the great things about our stadium is that even when we sell out the chairback seating area, which is about 4,400 seats, Bo, we built this stadium with the flexibility in mind so that those people could get up, walk around. You have a 360 view of the stadium, of the playing surface. So we constantly have many chairback seat holders who get up and walk around and visit with each other and still watch the game from other areas. So we feel like there's good flow. We don't have a number yet. That's something we're actually going to decide this morning. We have really good data from around the league. We've been in constant contact with the Southeastern Conference, our state and local government, and we're going to make some final decisions on the exact amount of students we're going to let in and general admission later on today.
Okay. John Cohen joining us on the Out of Bounds show on a Monday morning, recapping the weekend. Mississippi State will have their first SEC home series this weekend against the Arkansas Razorbacks. John joins us on the Coors Light guest line. John, Ben Howland and his team had a really good win against a tough team, St. Louis. They were a number 1 seed in that pod, and they've got some players. Ben's got a young team. What was your takeaway from the first NIT game?
I just like the effort. I love the effort that our kids are putting into it. Bo, as an athletic director, when you lay your head on the pillow at night, you really just want to know that all of your student athletes and all of your staffs are giving a superior athlete. And I certainly felt that after the St. Louis U. And sometimes, you give a superior effort and you lose the game. But in this case, I thought we just out-hustled St. Louis U. We played better defense. And I'll tell you, as you watch this tournament, the NIT and the NCAA, you realize this term of mid-major is really, over time, in basketball at least, not a factor. Because
right.
let's be really honest, you get 3 kids at a mid-major. You get 3 kids at a mid-major and who are real players. You can beat anybody. I mean, so. And we've seen this happen in the NCAA tournament over and over and over again. You see it in the NIT. And I think that's what makes it one of the great sporting events in our country is the fact that all you have to do is get those, 2 or 3, maybe 4 really solid athletes in one spot. Bo, it's just not like football. And I've heard you say this on your own show, and I agree. You can't just get 2 or 3 athletes and compete in football, but you can do it in basketball. And I've seen that in men's and women's basketball. It just takes a few people to really make a team competitive.
I think they play again on Thursday against Richmond. So Mississippi State advances in the NIT over the weekend. John, what's the latest on women's basketball and where they're going?
Yeah, Nikki had a presser on Friday, and I think she said it best. I think she is very disappointed. I think we all were in the way this year went. I think she had some challenges very early on in the process, quite frankly, that I think very few coaches in the entire country had. You don't want to make any excuses, and that's why we're not specifically saying what those challenges were. But I think it's really unfair to judge her when you realize that she hasn't even been here completely a year as of yet. Nikki is a winner. She's always been a winner. She's always been around winning. That was one of the reasons we brought her here. And she was very disappointed. And she said, there's a standard that she believes Mississippi State basketball is all about. And we agree with her. And, we're all held accountable. All of us, student athletes, coaches, administrators, we're all held accountable for, what happens on that floor. So there's no question it's got to get better. I think she's got a great plan to address that. And, I've said this many times, we're going to make sure women's basketball is going to be good at Mississippi State. One way or another, we got to move forward with this program.
John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show and the Coors Light guest line. John, one more listener just asked about spring game attendance. I guess that'll be decided later on down the road.
Yeah, we have a little bit of time about the attendance part of that. And, of course, that'll be in conjunction with our Super Bowl weekend, which Ole Miss, we'll be playing Ole Miss in baseball that weekend, and that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday format for Ole Miss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that opportunity. And, as soon as we have specific information about the amount of fans that we can have at the football game, I believe the football game will be prior to the baseball game. And Bo, I don't have that right in front of me right now, but we're excited about that weekend. It's one of the great weekends, I think, in all of college athletics.
Yeah. Okay. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, Mississippi State against Ole Miss, Mississippi State hosting Ole Miss, and Super Bulldog weekend. Interesting. All right, John. Thanks for your time this morning. We'll do it again soon. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bo.
John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. He joined us on the Coors Light guest line. Coors Light and crawfish. That's a winning combo at Mudbugs, 2 locations in Rankin County, Reservoir and Brandon. Mudbugs, I went and picked up, Blake, I just want to let you know, yesterday about 11:30, went and got picked up a sack of crawfish. It was a beautiful day, and from Mudbugs, and they were delicious. Mushrooms, shrimp, crawfish.
I don't like mushrooms except for when they're in a crawfish boil.
Oh, really?
I'm not a mushroom guy usually.
I don't understand that. It's almost like...
It's the earthiness. I don't like truffle either. I'm not a truffle guy. The earthiness is not my thing.
That's weird.
Like mossy,
mushrooms are amazing. They do them, and
but when they soak up all that,
they've got a little kick in them.
See, that's the difference. Crawfish mushrooms they're not. You're not really eating a mushroom. You're eating like just a sponge of crawfish seasoning.
Yeah,
that's all. So at that point, it's just a vessel for more crawfish flavor, and then I enjoy it. Yeah,
okay,
I'm all about that.
Wow,
Mudbugs is fantastic. Yeah, they kill it.
Matt and them are doing a great job. So this is really bothering me. You don't like avocado, and you don't like mushrooms.
Can't stand it.
That right there is grounds for you to really
they have similar textures.
Revisit the way you're living your life. Unbelievable. I'd like to hear from our listeners. Mississippi Ag John Deere Tractor text line, the fact that Blake doesn't like avocado or mushrooms. 601-885-3776. 885-3776. The show is brought to you by Madison Ridgeland Academy. Congratulations to MRA winning the state championship in football and the overall championship in basketball in a crazy, crazy game. Madison Ridgeland Academy, if you're on the fence about your child's future, call 601-856-4455 today. Take a private tour of the school. See the campus, meet the teachers, faculty, and coaches. Madison Ridgeland Academy, 601-856-4455. Welcome in. Good morning on a Monday. Ben McDonald, 9:30 today.